Corner. He steps in wearing the color red, vestido de color rojo. Su peso oficial, 253 libras, his official weight, 253 pounds. Invicto a nivel profesional, con 11 victorias. 7 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. He enters the ring, an undefeated fighter with 11 victories. 7 of his victories coming by way of knockout. El pre-olímpico mexicano de los Juegos 2008. He's a former member of the pre-Olympian Mexican team in 2008. Fighting out of Imperial Valley, California, y Puro Chicali, Baja California, Mexico, Andy Ruiz Jr.
Gentlemen, you were given your instructions in the dressing area. I expect you to obey all my commands. Protect yourself at all times. This is okay. This is a little high. Watch yourself. Come out boxing. Go back to your corner. Thank you.
Final instructions from your referee tonight for this heavyweight fight, Richard Soto. We are scheduled for 6 rounds. There's Andy Ruiz, 11-0 in his young career. And I was talking about when he made his debut, Rich, he was 300 pounds, so he's been really working that battle against the weight and comes in at a svelte 252 tonight.
Well, he seems to come down a little bit with every fight, so he has been serious about his weight loss. Tonight he fights a guy that is bigger than him. We're usually watching him fight guys that are much smaller than he is, but Ruiz, you will see, if you haven't seen him before, while he isn't chiseled and he fights flat-footed, he is very quick-handed. I think he has 2 of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division, and people are shocked by his speed.
See him going to the body right there, working on Ken Frank. Give him credit, he's here.
Yeah, well, it's like he said, you know, I had a choice. Sure, it was 5 days notice, but it was either spend the night in jail with a bunch of prisoners or go out on the river and
hang out
in Arizona on a beautiful
wow,
night.
Up top. Ruiz really showing some speed there, Rich.
He's a kid who fights very well. He's got good power, although he's finding the guys a little harder to knock out than he did early on his career. There's that speed of hand. Look how quick he unloads those punches.
8-punch combination upstairs. Ken Frank said he was going to try to box this kid. Andy's going to get on top of you and fast. And as Rich was saying, you just saw the witness of the speed. And there's a lot behind that speed, too, when you're talking about 254 pounds behind him.
He's working with Miguel Diaz in the corner tonight. He has worked a lot with Freddie Roach at the Wild Card Gym, but now he's working out in training in Las Vegas and getting a little bit more concentrated training. Freddie's a little busy these days with some rather big-name stars.
Well, he has the mantle right now of trying to become the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. He has trained with a young fighter who was trying to do that as a Mexican heritage. Oh, there's the upstairs slapping around right there. The hook's coming fast and furious. He's also been in the ring in LA with Evander Holyfield, which could teach him a thing or two. I'll tell you what. He's headhunting, Rich.
Well, one thing that he does is he takes his opponents by surprise. As he put it today, and these are his words, guys look over at him from the other corner and they see this chubby guy who they just feel obviously is going to be a slow, chubby guy. And he goes, they're shocked by what comes at them.
Right. Closing out the first round of a heavyweight fight tonight. We'll be right back for Park, Arizona.
That left hook by Ruiz flooring Ken Frank. We talked to the referee between rounds, Alan. He said it was no knockdown, but he did not deduct any points from Ruiz. Feeling was accidental.
Ruiz.
He wore his One Tough Indian shirt into the ring tonight. He says he's got that boxing gear line. One Tough Indian boxing gear.
He's still trying to fire that jab out there, but Andy's been having a good time coming over the top of it.
Well, he did say, Frank, that, you know, I've seen the kid fight. He's really got a lot of skill and he's fast of hand. He goes, I'm not going to walk into that. He goes, I'm not going to sit there and exchange with him. I'm going to try to keep him away. I'm going to try to box him.
Andy doing a good job at times going to the body, which I think would be although he's got a rather thick body to go through right there, but he can slow Frank down and bring his hands down if he does that and get the knockout he's anticipating tonight, I'm sure. You mentioned something to him today that his knockouts, how he started out, they're not coming as quickly as they were early on. he's having to get some extra work in. He's scheduled for 6 here.
He said he'd like to get down to about 245. It'd be a good fighting weight for him. So that's not that much further for him to go. He's never going to be a chiseled heavyweight.
It's just not the body type to even think about that. But he says he's running 4 miles in the morning and doing his sprints at 4 miles. Man, that's like a truck going down the road. Frank stuck his head in right there. And he's paying a price. Left hand, right hand, up against the ropes. Digging to the body. Prison guard is staggered right now, Rich. He's staggered. He took a lot of punishment there. He doesn't have a lot of an answer right here.
No,
Ruiz knows it.
He's just trying to keep him off with his long left, but that's just not working.
No. He's just getting pounded out. Soto looking at the referee. I think Frank's combination's just going to fall right over it. The towel's been tossed by the corner. And they're going to wave it off.
El vencedor por nocaut técnico, your winner by way of technical knockout, Andy Ruiz Jr.
Welcome back to the channel, guys, and thanks for joining me in this update. I hope you're all well. So guys, the fight between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Ken Frank took place on September 17th, 2011 at the BlueWater Resort and Casino in Arizona, USA. An early fight in the career of Andy Ruiz Jr. This was an explosive display of his hand speed and ability to generate devastating power in the heavyweight ranks. So guys, one of the scariest things in my opinion to experience in boxing is to get into the ring and find out that your opponent is almost 10 times better than you had anticipated. And I think this would have been immediately the thought of Ken Frank once he felt Ruiz's hail of punches descending on him. Now, moving on to the Wardley versus Parker fight, a lot of people have been talking about this one, and honestly, I think it was a controversial decision. In my opinion, the stoppage came a little early. Parker was hurt, yes, and he definitely should have clinched, but I felt he could have continued. Regardless, it was a solid showing for Wardley, who's now being discussed for some big potential matchups, maybe a Parker rematch, but I think he is more focused on a bigger mandatory fight with Usyk somewhere down the line. But guys, hear me out. This is my take and the reason why we are watching this particular fight. I think the perfect opponent for Wardley right now would actually be Andy Ruiz. Now, on paper, Joseph Parker holds a win over Ruiz, but if you really watched that particular fight, you know it's a bogus decision. Personally, I thought Ruiz did more than enough to win. It was in Parker's backyard, so of course some hometown judging played a part there, but don't quote me on that. Now, that fight put a dent in Ruiz's record that probably shouldn't have been there. Of course, Ruiz went on then to shock the world by stopping Anthony Joshua, an incredible feat, but in the rematch he came in heavier, slower, and just really didn't look like the same fighter. By his own admission, he partied for months after that first AJ win, got distracted by fame and fortune, and lost focus on what it meant to be a disciplined champion. But when Ruiz is locked in and motivated, guys, trust me, he's an absolute beast. That's why I think a Ruiz versus Wardley fight would be fascinating. Ruiz brings explosive hand speed, underrated fleet-footed aggressive footwork, serious power, and a granite chin. On top of that, in my opinion, he's one of the best pure boxers in the heavyweight division, arguably right behind guys like Usyk, Luis Ortiz when it comes to pure skill and technical ability. So that's my take, guys. Andy Ruiz versus Fabio Wardley, a fight that would be fireworks and a real test for both men, and one that could potentially shake up the division. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who wins that matchup and why, or however you want to take it. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.